What does that mean? This comes a day right after some of the weakness for Bitcoin that we have seen recently and experienced. A lot of it is due to liquidations. I mean, I've been telling you guys, you know, be careful of liquidations. Be careful when you throw on that 10x or 20x long. You think it's a sure thing, but it's really never a sure thing. So you could see over the last day or two, all these green are long liquidations, right? Long liquidations are no good, and you know, hate to see people just get wrecked like that, right? We want to see more red bars. We want to see more short liquidations, not long liquidations. Yeah, my internet was cutting out a little bit. Gary seems to be hacking my internet a lot these days. But anyways, well, my point is this: be careful, okay? Who wins when you play with liquidations? I mean, when you play with leverage and you get liquidated, the exchanges do. They win regardless, okay? So just keep that in mind. Once you get liquidated, there's no coming back from it. There's still a lot of fear out there. So you look at like Treasury bond yields, right? The 6-month is sky high at 5.34. The highest has been since 2006 and all the way even higher than 2008 crisis. That's how fearful people are right now, right? And the same thing with the 2-year bond, the 10-year bond. They're all sky high right now. It's insane how much people are flocking to dollars right now, despite the fact the central bank can print as many dollars as they want to, infinitely, and inflate it to nothing, right? But here's the good news. Here's the good news. This is what it looks like. This is a nice chart that let me remove my camera here. Here's a nice chart showing. This is comparing Bitcoin to the 2-year bond yield. Right, and you can see, and you know, during certain periods of time when people are flocking out of the dollar, that money goes somewhere, and in a lot of cases, it goes into Bitcoin, right? Not just Bitcoin, but you know, stocks and equities and stuff like that. But you could see though, last few times that the 2-year yield dropped significantly. What happened with Bitcoin went up significantly, right? So that is what we have to look forward to when people finally realize that, you know, getting 5% yield on bonds doesn't hedge against inflation. In fact, you're still losing out against inflation, and you're still losing your buying power. People will opt for something better, right? The only way to truly win against inflation in the long run is to hold on to an asset that outperforms inflation, right? And that is Bitcoin. Bitcoin has outperformed every other asset in that regards for the last 10 years. So I guess this is good news. A lot of people, I see a lot of videos on TikTok. People are saying, oh, watch out, right? MtGox will push all this Bitcoin this week. I don't think people realize this is just a registration. This is not actually repayment, okay? So the registration was supposed to end tomorrow. Meaning you're supposed to register and tell MtGox how much Bitcoin you want to get back, or if you want it in cash, whatever, right? But that repayment schedule has been pushed back to April 10th, right? But repayment doesn't start until now October. It was September. Now it's October, right? So there will be nothing being released or given out until October of this year. But I have seen a tremendous amount of videos from guys, especially on TikTok, saying, Bitcoiners, watch out, or if you're holding on Bitcoin, watch out. There's going to be 150,000 being released. No, it's not. Okay, not right now, not tomorrow, not next month. It will be sometime in October, right? And good thing is some of the biggest creditors have opted to just take their entire amount in Bitcoin. They didn't opt to take it in cash, which would force the creditor or the trustee to sell. No, most of them are taking it in Bitcoin, right? Why would you want to take in cash right now while Bitcoin is recovering from bottom? And the good thing is about this being given out in October is because obviously we're much closer to the next halving event, right? The price should be more stable and higher and on its way up. So even if there is a lot of people that do choose to sell, the market will be able to to cover it or eat it up, right? So that is, I guess, good, and also want to clarify some misconceptions there. Well, we got some good data. We have some things to look forward to. First of all, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, just the GBTC shares, has formed a bullish chart, but that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in this. Grayscale is on the verge of defeating the SEC. So, according to people familiar with this case, basically the SEC's reasoning why they won't approve a spot Bitcoin ETF, yet they will approve a futures Bitcoin ETF, is because they feel like spot market is more easy to manipulation than futures market, which doesn't make any sense because the futures Bitcoin ETF follow Bitcoin spot pricing. So that doesn't make any sense. You know, the futures pricing can't be different than the spot pricing because it's based on Bitcoin, right? So basically, it sounds like Grayscale is going to win this lawsuit. However, it does not mean that the SEC is forced to approve a Bitcoin ETF. It just means that Gary has to come out with another excuse why they won't approve a Bitcoin ETF. It makes it harder on them, right? Or maybe Gary caves and says, okay, we will approve it, right? But this is basically trying to convert Grayscale's trust into a Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. And I think this will be absolutely huge once US finally gets an ETF or multiple ETFs based on spot Bitcoin. I think it will bring in a ton of liquidity, a ton of money. That's what we want. So that's also pretty bullish. I've shown many charts like this, showing Bitcoin on its trajectory, right? The previous halving events, we're moving into the next one, right? Every single one, we seem to mimic the same path as before, right? And this one is no different. This is basically indicating we're about 385 days to the next halving, and all previous times, 385 days before, right? We're recovering from bottom, and then we start heading higher. And then by the time we get the halving event, we make a pretty good recovery. And then after the halving event, we go on a tremendous run. I don't think it's going to be any different this time around.